An officer in Andhra Pradesh doing this for the people of Odisha, I can't imagine. But that time I thought,
Dr. Vijay Kumar sir. He's a retired IAS officer from village dreams to bureaucratic corridors.
Jagtial was a place which was having a lot of Naxalite activities. Gathering the evidence, I concluded that it is a fake encounter. And before it reached the government, the report was out in the media. Then Chief Minister had decided that the action should be taken against me to build up a case for my suspension.
How did you get acquainted with the local culture, local language per se?
I was trained in Kurnool district, so there also I made a lot of efforts to pick up the language. During my training days also, we used to have classes at Telugu Academy. Then to understand and learn the language, we used to see a lot of Telugu films.
You prepared at that point of time where there were no much coaching institutes.
I was a regular reader of newspaper and magazines. Those days, so I went there. He asked me to pay some amount of fee which I could not afford. But he said to me that I'll be spoiling my statistics. I'll coach you. Became obvious after the results, final results came. They would have got one more successful candidate in their list.
Hello viewers, welcome to the Honest Hour. Today we have a very special episode with Dr. Vijay Kumar sir. Welcome Vijay Kumar sir.
Thank you, Shashank. Thank you for inviting me on this conversation. I look forward to good interaction with you and the viewers also.
Sir, you after deciding to prepare for UPSC, see you prepared at that point of time where there were no much coaching institutes, or today you have a lot of online resources, too many materials per se. So how did you manage your preparation? How did you channelize your preparation?
Yeah, see, I was a regular reader of newspaper and magazines. So the so-called current affairs or general knowledge part of the content, I used to get from newspapers and magazines, Economic and Political Weekly,
EPW.
and EPW and Frontline.
Sir.
These two magazines, I was regular reader. And of course, I already said that I had studied a lot of other subjects during my medical college days. So that helped. Of course, at the interview stage, I was little, confused because of the pressure from my father-in-law and my brother-in-law. They said, now that you have already cleared the main examination and now chances of your getting selected are 50%. So now at least give it a serious thought.
So how was the interview, sir, your UPSC interview? If you could recall some,
Well, it's a very interesting. I went there, in a casual attire.
Okay. So nobody guided you, they usually say you have to be very
Nobody.
formal.
Before that, I attended UPSC interview for medical job two, 3 times for different services, including the one in which I was working. So I just went in full sleeve shirt and trousers, and the breaking point was when I was asked, I was put a question by the first member of the board that do you know anything about memorandum of understanding signed between India and US on vaccine and vaccine related products. And to my surprise, the question was repeated second time. Do you know anything? I was taken aback by this twice statement, do you know anything? I also said, Madam, I know everything and you can ask me anything on that. So it was very interesting. 1-to-1 interview probably went for almost 45 minutes.
Okay.
I had one of the longest interviews probably in the history of civil services. And after that, it was very simple because this 45 minutes decided the outcome of the interview. After that, questions were which anybody who had studied a little bit would have answered. So that was interesting part in my interview. and I got a very high score in interview, which finally helped me in selection into IAS.
True that, sir. So there is a lot of misconception about the UPSC interview process, sir. So what do you suggest the aspirants to focus upon? What exactly is the expectation of the board from an aspirant?
As far as I know or I can comprehend, see, it's basically a personality test. Okay, so personality test focuses on evaluating your personality in its entirety, in its totality, and not limited to your knowledge about your subject, which either you have studied in your formal education stream, or you've studied as a part of preparing for the competitive exam. So it's basically a personality test. So that is what one should focus on.
Yes.
Apart from, because anybody who has been called for interview, his academic knowledge and the subject knowledge has already been tested. Of course, it is expected by the board that they will still know about the fundamentals of those subjects, etc., or at least those developments which have taken place in the recent past, at the country level or at the global level, etc., etc. But spending too much of time only on academic preparation will be, productive to some extent, but not in its entirety.
So they should also have a world view about
Yes,
develop a perspective.
It is very important to know about what is happening in the world and what is likely to happen. For instance, one should know what is happening in the climate change area, what is likely to happen if we don't address that issue, etc., etc.
So during this long journey in the administrative setup, was there any point of time that you felt, I've made a wrong decision, maybe I must have stuck on to my medical career?
Not at all. Not at all. Because in this arena, I had done much more than I could have probably done there. I am talking from the broader, view of helping the people and the society in general. So, not at all, absolutely not at all. I am happy with my journey from that stage till today.
Amazing, sir, amazing. So, what was your first posting like, sir, once you got into the service after the training?
Yeah, after the training, my first posting was as sub-divisional magistrate in a place called Jagtial in Karimnagar district, then Karimnagar district of Andhra Pradesh. It was a difficult journey from Karol Bagh to Jagtial, moving from a known territory to an unknown, uncharted territory. My wife was reluctant. My parents were reluctant. In-laws also were reluctant. They don't know what is there in that place, what will happen over a period of time. Because as a medical officer, the future was known.
Absolutely.
Here, the future was not known to anyone, including me, my family. So that element of uncertainty was there in the mind of all the family members. There are some people who come from a civil services background. So for them, the future is also clear.
They're acquainted with it.
Yes, they are acquainted with what is there in store, all those things.
So was there any pressure from ma'am, sir? Like, ab to chaliye, I'm not going to come.
No, that was not there. Absolutely not.
So they made amends with the idea.
Yes.
So like you hailing from North India or Delhi, coming to Jagtial district or erstwhile Karimnagar district. So how did you get acquainted with the local culture, local language per se?
Local language learning is a must for all IAS officers throughout the country. So learning Telugu was a must for us also.
Yes, sir.
We had to take 2 examinations, clear them, and only then you get the first promotion. So during my training days also, we used to have classes at Telugu Academy. Then to understand and learn the language, we used to see a lot of Telugu films.
Yes,
Because films are a good medium for learning the language. Language and culture both. And of course, during the training days, I was trained in Kurnool district. So there also I made a lot of efforts to pick up the language. It was not so smooth, but then ultimately everybody picks up the language. So similarly, I also picked up the language. The family members, of course, picked up a little bit over a period of time. Children pick up very fast language. So that is why language learning was not a big problem. Culture adaptation was also not a big challenge. One can adapt to any culture provided one is interested.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is there.
Rightly said, sir. So, like once you were posted, sir, your first posting. So, how did reality compare to what you presumed? Probably, jab you were posted, before being posted, what a civil servant does or how the government operates, you might be having a different viewpoint. So, once you were posted and you got into the nitty gritties of administration, was there a moment when you felt that what I thought earlier is not the same in practicality?
Fortunately for me, since I was not carrying the burden of legacy or burden of knowing the system, I did not have any presuppositions or any preconceived notions about the service or about the work, etc., etc. So adaptation was, although a challenge, but it was a smooth journey. If you don't have any preconceived notion, you can discharge your responsibilities in a smoother manner. But I would definitely say to you and the viewers that there are 2-3 elements which help one to carry out the responsibilities in a dignified manner, in a correct manner. And those are: 1, you should be impartial. 2, you should have integrity. 3, you should abide by law. And 4, you should not have any, presuppositions about particular religion, caste, culture, situation, etc., etc. If anyone, when I have done it, I presume others can also do it. If you have those qualities, you should be able to have a smooth sailing. Of course, it may not be smooth for an officer as a person, because there will be hurdles, there will be, lot of interventions, etc., etc. But overall, you get a good night's sleep and you have a peaceful life.
True, sir. I'm sure these kind words and these words of wisdom will help the younger generations to have a more value-laden perspective.
Yes,
towards
I
civil
would like to
services.
say one thing here to the viewers also and to you also, that your reputation precedes you in any place. If you are posted in a place, your reputation has already reached there before you land there. So you are known there, because everybody is curious about an IAS officer, who is coming, what kind of a person he is, will he be amenable to our pressures, will he be amenable to, do certain things, etc., etc. So once you keep this thing in mind that your reputation has already reached there, you should not bother about that.
Yes, sir.
Then one can do many good things, in administration, for society, for people, etc., etc. Of course, one definitely faces a lot of challenges. There are situations where your decision is going to affect some people in adverse manner, some people in helpful manner, etc., etc. But as long as you know law and you work within the framework of law, you will not have any trouble.
So, like, as part of your administrative work as a civil servant, there could have been plenty of instances where there was a lot of social pressure or the media attention on a particular issue. Along with that, at the other end, you have the political pressure. So, how did you handle these situations per se? And could you elaborate with some instances? And I'm sure there could have been plenty of instances in your career.
I'll tell you 2-3 instances which I dealt with. One fine morning, I was sitting in the lawn of my official residence when I was in Jagtial. And I saw at the gate some 4-5, people standing there. So I called them inside. I asked, what is the problem? What brings you here? They narrated. They told me that there was this brick clean fellow, and he brought 252 of us from Odisha to work there. And he promised some X amount of money. Initially, for few days, he gave X amount of money. Thereafter, he reduced that amount. He promised food for all. Some days he gave, then he reduced the food quantity. And finally, they said that 3 of our children died. That shook me. So I asked them, which village is this, etc., etc. I said, you go there, you go to the village and I'll take action. So I called my Tehsildar and told him there are 252, some children, women, adults. So I told him, take 2 buses of RTC, go to the village, bring all 250 of 2 with their belongings to the office. I had an office which had a huge open space. So, and I went to the office then, because I knew Tehsildar will take around 2 hours to bring them. Went to the office and prepared my office staff that today we will do only this work and not routine work, because this is more important. So I put my team on calculating the amount which is due to everybody. So it took around 6-7 hours and it was calculated, because they have a system of how much money they received. They write on some small diary or some paper, etc. So with that information, by evening, I was able to prepare what is payable by that fellow. It was a bonded labor case. So then I called for this person. And I told them that we are working out, but roughly, as per rough calculation, it will be about 1 lakh rupees which you have to pay to them. And I am talking of the year 91. This was a huge amount in that time. He said he doesn't have money. I said, that is not my problem. That is your problem. You have promised them, you are bound to pay them. Otherwise, you will face consequences under Bonded Labor
Abolition Act.
Yes. So anyway, he brought the money, whether under pressure or on his own, is immaterial here. But then I had a bit task. People were after me, why are you doing all this? This is a social practice which is continuing all over the society, centuries, etc., etc. I said, I am only doing my job, which the law tells me to do it. Now I had the problem of sending these 250 people back to Odisha.
That is a major dilemma now.
Yes. So I arranged buses for them to the nearest railhead. Now problem is, how do I put them in the train? I spoke to divisional railway manager there. He said, sir, coaches have to come from that place. And without permission of the railway board, coaches will not come. I said, okay, I'll talk to the... I spoke to chairman railway board. He was very reluctant. So I had to put the fear of law into his mind. So he agreed to provide the coaches. The coaches came. They were attached to a train which was going to Calcutta via Bhubaneswar. So they were put there. I sent my Tehsildar with them. In the meantime, the big problem was to prepare these 200 and odd bank drafts. So I told the bank manager. He said, sir, we don't have manpower and you are giving us only 2 hours. I said, I don't know, bring your manpower from adjacent branches. Because those time they had to be prepared by hand.
Yes.
Handwriting. There were no printers, nothing.
How?
Even typing was not used for preparing the bank draft. Anyway, they were prepared. They were transported by buses to the nearest railhead, put it in the railway coaches. Then they were taken to my Tehsildar, took them to Bhubaneswar. From there, he had arranged buses to take them to the village. And I told my Tehsildar that you will put them in the village, go to the bank, get all their accounts opened and the demand drafts deposited in their account, take a certificate from bank manager, on the return meet the Chief Secretary of Odisha, and then only your work will be completed. So he did everything. On the way back, met the Chief Secretary, and then he narrated the whole thing. Chief Secretary was totally taken aback. Is this possible? An officer in Andhra Pradesh doing this for the people of Odisha? I can't imagine. And then he wrote a testimonial and gave it to my Tehsildar to give it to me. I missed that testimonial today. But that time I thought this is a routine job I am doing. I'll tell you the gist of the testimonial. The line he wrote was, if I had 2 officers like you in Odisha, I would have changed the face of Odisha.
Fantastic.
That was the testimonial which I relish even today. I tried to obtain a copy of that from that office, but I was not able to get it. This was one situation which was very unique in the sense that there were pressures, there was shortage of time, lot of, other stakeholders have to be brought on board, like RTC, the police, the railways, etc., etc. But finally we were able to send them, and everybody, and it was highlighted on the front page of the Hindu with the sub-collector's photo and 252 bonded labor photos, bonded labor persons. So that was a lot of satisfaction for me as an officer, lot of rejoicing in the society, because they also realized that, and media was happy in reporting whatever information they could get. So that was one instance. I'll tell you another instance also.
Yes, sir, please.
Which was, in all these police encounters, Jagtial was a place which was having lot of Naxalite activities, and there were a lot of police encounters. Basically, in every case of police encounter, the executive magistrate has to do the inquiry. So I also did in one case encounter. Gathering the evidence, I concluded that it is a fake encounter. The report went up to the government, and before it reached the government, the report was out in the media.
Achha.
Well, I am not sure whether it leaked from my office or it leaked from collector's office or it leaked from secretariat, but it leaked because press reported. There was a lot of pressure on the government to take action, and government was firm on taking action, more on me than the report. Obviously, because it was proved that it is fake encounter, action was taken on the report also. The then Chief Minister had decided that the action should be taken against me. And the second senior most IAS officer of the state was deputed to Jagtial to build up a case for my suspension.
Oh, it went to that extent.
Yes. Because there was a pressure from police department that if such reports keep coming, we cannot control Naxalite activities.
Which year was this in, sir?
91?
Okay.
91, 92, I must be 91, 92 somewhere. Because I was transferred out of that place in maybe April, May 92, so prior to that. So the officer came, spoke to me, discussed, and very interesting conversation took place between me and the officer. He asked me point blank question. Listen, the Naxalites are killing policemen or people. So what if policemen have killed some Naxalites? You should take it that way. I said, no, sir. My opinion on this is very different. He said, yes, tell me. I said, sir, in my opinion, when a Naxalite kills a policeman or any other person, it is one citizen killing another. But when a policeman kills a Naxalite in a fake encounter, it is the state killing a citizen which law does not permit.
Aptly said.
So he was totally taken aback by this kind of, explanation and reasoning. Then he told me, now I am convinced and you will not be suspended. He only told me that I was sent here to give a report so that you are suspended. But then he ensured that I was not suspended. But he told me that 24 hours you will be transferred. I said that is part of the deal in any service. Why only IAS? And I said, knowing my value structure, I am always ready for transfer, consequent to such decisions or such actions, etc., etc. So these are the real life instances which the viewers also keep in mind, that one might be faced with such a situation, but it's very difficult for most of the people to take such kind of stand.
True.
I can vehemently say that even in IAS, there will be handful of such people. Because people are either looking for a career, looking for a peaceful life. Inaction is the best form of action. So there are different reasons. But then my value structure was entirely different, continues to be so. That is it.
Amazing, sir. Taking a cue from what you elicited, sir, we see that like the Constitution bans exploitation of people. It is a fundamental right that there should not be bonded labor. There are laws which restrict regarding the same. But why do you think these kind of practices still exist in society?
See, one reason is, which is the predominant reason. And that is that, such things are taken as accepted practices by the society in general. There is acceptance of such practices in the society. Child marriages, exploitation of women, bonded labor, caste-based discrimination, dowry issues.
Harassment.
These are all banned by law.
True.
But society takes them as acceptable part of culture. The reason, and a classic example is child marriages, more in Rajasthan.
Rajasthan, yes, sir.
And it happens in the
Open.
public spaces, in open. And I have been answering questions in mock interviews from civil service aspirants,
Yes, yes.
especially those who come from Rajasthan. Can you explain why this is continuing? Because the society there in general accepts this as a given thing. They may give different reason, but so unless the whole system, especially the opinion makers, see, any bureaucrat cannot be an opinion maker.
True that.
The opinion maker has to be a person which has a mass appeal, like some big social worker or organization, or the political executive, political parties, media. They are opinion makers. So unless they take this as their moral responsibility or legal responsibility, till that time things are likely to continue. That initiative has to come on the lines as was done in case of sati abolition. There the society realized, then there were opinion makers, and that practice was abolished.
True that.
Same is here, but I think the society's acceptance, the society's thinking has to be changed in such cases.
Attitudinal change in the people, per
Yes,
se,
yes.
probably.
And attitudinal change is a long process. It is not something which anybody can do in a period of time.
True.
Yes.
Sir, in bureaucracy, especially administrative services, how are these transfers done, sir? Is it like based on merit or based on some political considerations?
I will not be able to tell it correctly, but from whatever I know, I was not even knowing that the transfers are done at the level of chief minister. I came to know after completing more than 10 years in the IAS. It is only that person who does it can tell what is the criteria for effecting transfer. But one thing I can say is that it might be a combination of factors. Because there are certain situations where one needs an officer who can deliver with integrity, impartiality. They may need some officer who is pliable and willing to carry their agenda. So there is definitely a combination of factors. Some people try, some people don't try, for whatever reason. Everybody has his or her own reasons. People who don't try, they are taken for granted, etc., etc., etc. Not that they are totally put outside the stream, because such people are also needed in certain, critical situations. I have also been picked up for handling critical situations.
Yes, sir. Could you tell us about some specific instances, sir, in your career?
I'll tell you about this interesting experience of mine. I was posted as managing director in a cooperative spinning mill,
Okay.
which is not a post meant for IAS officers. But probably government had its own compulsions, so they posted me. The reason was there was a pressure from World Bank to improve the working of this mill. Because World Bank refused to extend further assistance to the state unless this mill working is streamlined. So I was posted there. Well, I went there, studied what it is all about. When I joined that mill, it was incurring a loss of 25 lakh rupees a month. I am talking of the year 1992. So I had to make it work. When I studied, I realized that the workers are not being supervised and workers are not, delivering what they are supposed to. And I found out that the union office bearers, 2, 3 of them, they were a main hindrance.
Acha.
I took action against them and suspended them, which was a drastic step from their point of view. But anyway, I did it because I wanted to improve the working of the mill. And meantime, I studied whole technology, the machines of the mill, the raw material, the final produce, the process, etc., and started improving one by one. The functioning improved, the quality of end product drastically improved, and we were able to sell the produce at a very good price. I took a lot of efforts in marketing the produce also. I personally went in the biggest yarn market of India, which is at Ichalkaranji in Maharashtra. So I reached a situation where I brought the mill to profit. From minus 25 lakh, I brought it to a profit. The chief minister was from that state, that district. He wanted me to come in rural development because the work there was not happening to the extent he desired. So I was transferred from that mill to this place, while also retaining the additional charge of that mill on the insistence of the chief minister. And these two places were almost around 70 kilometers apart, Kurnool and Nandyal.
Nice.
So every alternate day I had to drive myself the gypsy and come to the mill, do work for half a day, go back and do the work of rural development. But then I realized that obviously I can't stay there for long. The government also knew. So one fine morning, a gentleman came from Mumbai and he said, I want to see your mill. I said, yes, definitely, why not? Because he had heard about the work which was done, because market speaks for itself. And he was from Bombay. He knew about what has shaken Ichalkaranji yarn market. My mill was cutting the highest rate of yarn in the country.
Okay.
Compared to the 100% export-oriented units of the private sector. Phenomenal. I was getting price higher than them. I was getting payment 15 days in advance and then delivering the yarn. They were delivering the yarn and getting payment after 1 week or 10 days. So that was the situation. That forced this businessman to come to Nandyal and study. He saw everything, discussed with me and said, 27 crores, sell the mill to me. I told him, see, this mill was constructed with an outlay of 7-8 crores. Today its book value is not more than 4 crore. What for you are giving 27 crores? He said, because of the reputation you have created. Your brand sells in the market like hotcake. I realized that since I cannot stay there for more, future managing directors may be or may not be taking so much of interest because it involves a lot of hard work. I had to go to different cotton areas to purchase cotton myself, so that I can buy it at a realistic price, not a high price. So I had to spend a lot of time. I used to travel at that time almost 18, 19 days in a month outside the mill.
Oh my God.
Then I realized, since I may not be here, or a similar, value person may not be there, I said, okay, I'll take up with the government. I was personally convinced that yes, it should be sold. So I sent the proposal. My boss also agreed with the proposal. The matter moved up to the government. And then Chief Minister, when the file reached the Chief Minister, he called for a meeting. So I was called to Hyderabad. I was asked in that meeting, what prompted you to send the proposal? I said, sir, because you also know, I also know, I will not be there. I know for sure, the day I leave, after 6 months, it will close. You also probably may be knowing that. He said, yes, I know. The day you leave, mill will start going down and eventually go into losses in 3 months, and maybe 6 months, 7 months, 9 months, it will close because losses will be unsustainable. But still, I will not agree to sell the mill. Out of all my innocence, honesty and sincerity, I asked me, sir, can I know the reason? You should hear the reason. Viewers should also hear the reason. I said, he says, what reply do I give to the people of the state if they question me that such a wonderfully running mill is being privatized? And another part is, the mill happens to be in the constituency of the Prime Minister of India and in the constituency of the Chief Minister of the state. The mill was not sold. Eventually, the mill was closed. Finally, when notice for sale was issued, the bid came for 1 crore.
Oh my God. 27 crores to 1 crore.
Government did not agree. Second attempt, the bid came for much lower and it was sold. But in that process, I had realized that I knew for sure that it's going to close. But then I realized what will happen to these 400 workers if the mill closes. So I took a proactive, role for their welfare.
Yes.
I told them, their union people, that form an association of your spouses, wives. And I'll get you the land and I'll get you the houses sanctioned by government.
Okay.
They were convinced that here is a person who is at least looking after our welfare. It is not his job, but still, out of humanity, he is doing it. They formed the association. I requested the collector, the land was given. I requested again the collector. Under weaker section housing program, houses were constructed. When finally the mill was closed, after that they came to me in Hyderabad when I was in Hyderabad. Sir, this is one thing which you did. Nobody would have imagined. Even we could not have imagined. Otherwise, all our families would have been on the roads. Mill closed, no work, no place to stay. So this was something which was, which was not part of my job.
Yeah, it
Otherwise,
requires a deeper sense of empathy.
yes, it was sense of empathy and concern for those people
Sure.
that I did it. And it gave me a lot of personal satisfaction. They invited me to inaugurate the housing colony,
Acha.
which of course I refused. I said, no, I will not come. You call somebody else to do that. So this was one instance which was unique, stands as an example of, concern for people, etc., etc.
So let's move to the quick fire round, sir, or the rapid fire round, sir. What is your favorite books?
Well, I read a book by Niraj C. Chaudhary, and the message from that book was that revolution is difficult in Indian context. If you see, Indian society has never witnessed a revolution. There have been revolts like mutiny, Sepoy mutiny of 1857, the Champaran, the non-cooperation movement, but those were all revolts.
Sure.
Isolated, sporadic cases. There has not been a revolution. That was the message from that book. Another book which I liked was, there is a book called Genes. It's about all DNA.
Acha.
By one Mr. Mukherjee. It gives an elucid, framework about genetics, DNA, mutations, etc., etc., etc.
There's like one habit that you swear by for productivity.
I should say, to point out one will be little difficult, but a combination of integrity, compassion, adherence to law, and passion for fighting for your rights. More so, the society should be, should not give up. They should fight for their rights, because that will force the decision makers to take action.
One word that describes your leadership style, sir.
One word, combination of compassion and integrity.
Did you have a profound influence by somebody, some senior officer or any person that you look upon?
Well, I was a very
Not only a
impressed.
bureaucrat, any personality, public personality.
I was very impressed with the working of my collector when I was under training.
Achha.
From him, I learned that one should not give up even in the adverse situations.
One quote or mantra that keeps you going.
Have belief in yourself. Never compromise on your personal value structure. Don't give up.
The definition of a life well lived.
Getting a peaceful sleep in the night. Having no regrets from any quarter. One should not be able to say that I could have done it, but I did not. And the people you have interacted with you should never be able to say that he was not active, he did not deliver, etc., etc. People at large, including media, should not point out that you did not do this thing.
Thank you so much for your valuable insights and time, sir. I'm sure whatever discussion and conversation and experience that you shared will be a source of inspiration, and it will also be a masterclass for case studies, for administrative challenges, and how you can actually create a profound impact. See, many a times people blame the system, people blame the circumstances for not delivering what is their due course of job. But here we have Dr. Vijay Kumar sir. In spite of all the adversities, he was having the courage and conviction to do what he believed in, and he also created such impact. Thank you so much, sir.
I would like to add some points for the viewers. Have faith in the system. System is capable of delivering. India's bureaucracy is probably one of the best in the world. Have faith in the system, have resilience, and have respect for your own moral values, and learn to fight for your rights. Don't give up on fighting your rights. Don't surrender your rights to anybody else. They are your rights which have been granted by Constitution of India. And collective bargaining is a very good tool which the people should use more for addressing such issues, in the public domain. And for the civil service aspirants, be clear in your mind the purpose of joining civil services, because that is going to be crucial in shaping one's career and future life. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you. All the best.